is marriage? Marriage is God ordained. It's a union between a man and a woman. It's not in the context that people look at it these days. Some people believe these days that marriage is between a man and a man and an animal, a woman and an animal. No. The God ordained marriage is between a man and a woman. God loves the context of marriage. That's why he says that we should come together as one, to love each other, to support each other, to build a future with each other. Marriage is beautiful as God has ordained it to be. But these days, a lot of people have a misconception about marriage. They think that marriage is like a burden. Marriage is not supposed to be enjoyed. I beg to differ. Marriage should be enjoyed between two people. When you want to go into the marriage relationship, you should start, I believe, as friends. Because it's the journey of friendship that takes two people beyond love over time and over the years. I'll use my parents as an example. You know, they started courting or dating very early until now, and their marriage is over 44 years or thereabouts, and they're still friends, even in their old age. And the marriage has had its ups and downs, which is normal in every marriage. That you will have issues, you will have financial issues, life will happen between both of you. But the most important thing is that there is friendship, and basically there is God. When God is the foundation of the home, then whatever challenges you have, whatever situations that come your way, you can both go to God in prayer. That is why when you are deciding on who you want to get married to, who you want to start a courtship with, it must be somebody that you have the same faith in God, you are speaking the same language in God, you have the same focus and vision in God. It must not be divided. You must not be going east and your partner is going west. You must be walking in the same direction. So when you walk in the same direction, you're speaking the same language, you come together and you ask, even before going into marriage, if this person is the person you're supposed to journey your life with, or you're going to share the visions of life with, and God gives an okay, then you can proceed and go into courtship, get to know the person, build friendship, build love, and then over time you get married and you face life together, you pray together, you spend time together, you communicate. I mean, everybody has a language. There's something that is called a love language. Everybody has their love language. Some people, for them, is giving of gifts. Some people is receiving. Some people is physical touch. Some people is act of service. There's a book on the languages of love, so you can go and Google it or look for it. It's written by a guy called, I think, Gary Chapman. That's the name of the guy that wrote the languages of love. So you can read about it. For every individual, there's a love language. So when we get to know each other's love languages, yes, we have two people from different backgrounds. There's bound to be issues, there are bound to be challenges, there are bound to be offenses. But one thing that we need to learn is that no matter how it is, you need to forgive each other, number one. Then love has to overstep every bound. You have to be able to overlook things, which will not be easy, but over time, we'll grow into it. And with the help of God, God will help us, and then we can move together, move mountains together in prayer. When challenges come, nobody's bottling up emotions. We're open to each other, to communicate, to be able to tell the person, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm going through, and then the two of you can come together. And the Bible says that when one will chase 1,000, then two can chase 2,000. So I believe that in marriage, that's how it's supposed to be. That when communication is open, there is friendship, there is love, there is, yes, finances, like the words we say in marriage vows that says that for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. Yes, when the better is there, yes, you are sharing. When the worse is there, so we should equally share. And then we face everything that comes our way together. And I want to believe that when we just understand each other, when we know that, okay, this is life, we have signed an agreement to go all the way together in life, then whatever comes, we should be able to come together and say, what should we do? Then we go to the author of life, the author of marriage, the one who joined us together, which is God, and he will give us the way out. It's like he's the writer of the manual. He knows everything from the beginning. He knows you and the marriage partners. He knows them. That's why he brought them together. The Bible says that can two walk together except they be in agreement. We have to be able to agree and say, this is what we are going to do. We are going to serve God together. We're going to raise our children in the ways of the Lord. This is the things that we're going to do in our home. We have to have the same values. We have to have the same things that we're talking about. If we're saying we're having, how many children are we having? If we're having 2 children, how are we training our children? What schools are they going to go? How are they going to live their lives? They're going to be taught the things of the Lord, things like that. There are basic things that we need to talk about at the beginning of marriage. So when maybe sometimes you're just speaking the same language, you have to check, is this person work life with me? Is this person going to do this vision with me? Are we going the same way? Basic things like the education of the children, our lives, where we're going to live. I mean, in this season of Japa, is basic that people just ask you. Guys will ask now that is it in your plans to travel out? Because some guys want to know, this plan that I have, are you in alignment with my plan? So if you're saying, no, I don't think I want to Japa, I want to stay in Nigeria, the guy might wait and say, okay, I don't think this person is the same, with me and all that. Yes, it might not be a criteria to choose a marriage partner, but for some people it's very important, they can't stay abroad and have a wife here. So those little things that we don't even count as important, but these days causes issues in marriages should be discussed. I mean, I had a friend that said that it was as bad as where the husband used to put his shoes when he came back from work. She is a proper person that likes to arrange the house and do stuff. But the guy, on the other hand, doesn't matter. He just comes in and he drops his shoes around. But they had an issue at the beginning. But over time, they talked about it. That is where communication comes in. Babe, I don't like the way you put your shoes around, this and that and that. You don't lay the bed, you don't press the toothpaste, which is another issue that people talk about. From the bottom, we have to press the toothpaste from the top, and stuff. So they talked about it, and somebody had to adjust, which is another thing that comes in marriage, sacrifice. You have to be able to sacrifice. That, okay, because of the love I have for this individual, the love I have for this person, I will bend my rules for this person. But if you now find that, like people say, the thing is too much, and you feel like, okay, I can't cope or I can't bear this, it's not an option to say you are packing your bags and you are leaving. You might seek counsel, maybe speak to your pastor, or a counselor about it. Maybe somebody like an elder in the family that is a Christian person, a child of God, that will give valuable advice. Not just anybody that will just give you counsel and say, your husband is, no, you don't do that. Just look for godly counsel. Speak to people that will teach you in the ways of the Lord. And with God and all the other things intact, I feel that everything should work out well, and between both of you, just have an agreement, have a plan with God at the back of your mind, that with God, nothing is impossible. And I just pray that all will be well.